Okay, I think we're ready to go here. Hello, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Matt Holiner. Uh, this first weather live stream that we're doing, I want to take a little time just to chat about chances for a white Christmas. I know that's something that we all want. Lots of different opinions when it comes to snow. Some people, hate snow. Some people love snow. But the one day where everybody seems to be okay with snow is on Christmas. If there's a day to have snow, it's Christmas Day, right? But what's interesting is that for a lot of the country, a white Christmas is a real treat. And even in Northwest Indiana, kind of a treat for us too. It's not as common as we might think. We've certainly had it in the past, but actually there's kind of been a trend lately that it's actually becoming less common. So I want to start by just taking a look at our national map and talking about those chances for a white Christmas. This is looking at the probability of there being at least 1 inch of snow on the ground on Christmas Day. That's how we define a white Christmas, at least 1 inch of snow. So, technically, if there's a tenth of an inch of snow, some people might make the argument, hey, it's a white Christmas, but usually you can still see the grass peeking through at that point. So the official definition, so you have a good layer of snow where it covers up the dirt and grass underneath, is 1 inch of snow. And this is specifically, what this map is looking at is the period of 1991 to 2020. So the last 30 years, we're looking at the probability that there was 1 inch of snow on the ground. And the big takeaway here is that if you're not in a shade of blue on this map, the chance for a white Christmas is less than 10%. So all those gray dots you're seeing across the south and southeast, in some places it's a 0% because it hasn't happened at all in the last 30 years. If we go just, for example, here in northern Mississippi, notice 0, Memphis, 1%. So I'm not even sure how that would even work because obviously, the statistic might be that there might have been, be throwing it off a little bit, as it could have been a little bit of a trace of snow. It wasn't actually a full inch. But the bottom line is here is a lot of folks, it's pretty much essentially almost impossible to have a white Christmas. Never say never, but the chance is awfully low. But once you start to get into these shades of blue, then there's at least a realistic opportunity that there could be a white Christmas, but the chances start out pretty low. It's really not until you get these shades of white where it's almost a guarantee that it's going to be a white Christmas, which, as you can expect, is the coldest locations around Christmas time. Northern Minnesota, northern Maine, up in the Rockies and the Sierra Nevada out west. So if we look at Illinois and Indiana, you can see that the chances are higher in the northern parts of the state versus the southern parts of the state because, as we typically see throughout the year, that's kind of the main story with snow. There's more snow to the north than the south just because temperatures tend to be a little bit colder. You get more opportunities for snow. When we look at the Chicago area specifically, it does get interesting when you look at the probabilities for a white Christmas. Where it's most likely is often what we see in the Chicago area. Some of our bigger snows tend to be in the northwestern suburbs, at least usually with a big snow event. It ultimately depends on the track of the low pressure system. But if you're looking at probabilities, the northwestern suburbs overall tend to see a little bit more snow than over in northwest Indiana. So if you want to know what the highest chance over the last 30 years has been, it's actually over here. These are weather stations, by the way, these little blue circles. So that's why they sometimes don't match up exactly with the city names. It's basically, these are weather stations that we're looking at the probability there was 1 inch of snow on the ground at that weather station. And then we're interpolating all these different measurements at these weather stations to create this map. But the weather station in Streamwood, Illinois has actually been the one with the highest chance in the Chicagoland area with a white Christmas. 53% of the time over the last 30 years, there's been at least 1 inch of snow on the ground. So a 53% chance of a white Christmas. As you start to go to the south, though, the chance for a white Christmas starts to drop. You look at Midway Airport, notice how it suddenly goes down to just a 35% chance of a white Christmas. And then for Northwest Indiana, actually, all the Chicago metro area, the station that has the lowest chance for a white Christmas is actually the one in Crown Point. Just 22% of the time has been 1 inch of snow on the ground on Christmas Day. So that's actually the lowest probability. So for those of you in Lake County, it's the least likely place for it to be a white Christmas. And it's actually interesting because you go a little bit farther to the south in Newton and Jasper County, and the chance actually goes up a little bit, 28% there in Lake Village. And then down here, 33% in Remington. which could be due to the fact that sometimes you have those low pressure systems that come up from the south. And so maybe there was one Christmas where it actually dropped about an inch of snow, maybe in the southern part of Newton County, and then dropped Newton and Jasper County. And then that didn't happen in Crown Point, so that could be what's throwing it off there. And then also, if you go a little bit farther to the east, suddenly the probability starts to go up again too. You go over into Porter County, here's the weather station at the Indiana Dunes, and notice that the chance goes up from Crown Point, which is 22%, up to 38%. This is where you start to get that lake effect influence, which we haven't seen much of this year for sure. But there have been opportunities where there's been snow farther to the east because of the lake effect snow that hasn't happened in Lake County. And so actually you continue to see that. You go over into LaPorte County and the probabilities get even higher. There's 49% actually in Kingsbury, just a little bit under Streamwood because of those lake effect snow events that have brought some snow to LaPorte County where it hasn't fallen in Lake County. And it's just so, this is a really fun map to play around with. Really cool from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. But if you really want those super high chances, but the big takeaway here is notice the highest percentage I showed you in the Chicago metro area was at 53%. So about half the time, it's not a white Christmas. But our chances are, definitely better. I mean, all relative compared to places farther south, but they're also kind of low compared to places like up here in northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota. See these bright white dots? Those are really high chances. 95% of the time, it's a white Christmas in Mellon, Wisconsin, for example. Obviously, it's a bit colder up there, so it's more likely. Because this is, again, remember, this is not just snow that falls on Christmas Day. This is snow that's on the ground. So maybe it didn't actually snow Christmas Day up in northern Wisconsin, but it's so cold there that any snow that maybe fell a week ago, it might still be on the ground. If there was a big snowstorm, it's more likely that any snow that did fall is still on the ground just because it's colder. But actually, I tell you what, this year, a lot of the places that have these lower probabilities, 50% or less, not looking like a white Christmas. So what we're going to do here is change over. I'm going to show you the forecasted snow depth, okay, for this year. So who's going to have a white Christmas this year? And as you can see, it's basically where those highest chances for a white Christmas are, and who's going to have a white Christmas this year. Now, these light shades of gray that are showing up, that's a tenth to a half an inch. Really, it's that dark shade of gray. See these little really dark spots of gray? That's where there's going to be an inch of snow on the ground. The blue here is actually indicating 2 inches of snow. So even southern Wisconsin, it's not going to... there might be a little bit of snow ground, but not officially a white Christmas unless you have an inch of snow. So if you really want at least an inch of snow, you really have to get into South Dakota, northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan. Even southern Michigan, typically has pretty good chances usually. They get the lake effect snow as well, but this year, not looking that way at all. And also the northern part of the Northeast, we typically think of Northeast with like New York City, Boston, those are the big cities. Boston might have a little bit of snow, but not officially a white Christmas, not an inch of snow. You really have to get up more into the mountains, and certainly that'll be the case out in the Rockies. Lots of snow out there. Sierra Nevada, it's actually been a bit cooler than normal, a bit wetter than normal. There's actually been a little bit more snow so far this season. They're kind of getting caught up after their drought. They're kind of getting into a snowier period, so lots of snow out there, but a lot of folks in the country, we're certainly not going to be alone here in Northwest Indiana and Illinois with not having a white Christmas. A lot of other folks aren't as well. In places that usually have a pretty good chance, Iowa usually has a pretty good chance. It looks like not going to happen this year, maybe in a couple spots in northern Nebraska, but even a lot of South Dakota, probably not. So not going to be a white Christmas for many. But the reason for it is the temperatures. Look at the temperatures that are forecast on Christmas Eve. These are high temperatures on Friday. Now, what this map shows is the forecasted high temperature. That's what these numbers are. But the colors actually show how above normal temperatures are, or below normal. But what you're seeing here in these shades of yellow, orange, red, even pink, are temperatures that are way above normal for Christmas Eve. Notice out west, though, where there's going to be quite a bit of snow, temperatures are a little bit below normal, a little bit cooler than usual, especially up in Montana. But, some crazy values in some spot, like what we're seeing in North Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, those 60s, 70s, 80s. Yeah, that's not very Christmas-like. Now, for us, Northwest Indiana, Chicago area, even this is above normal for this time of year, especially when you keep in mind that, we should be in the mid to upper 30s this time of year. it's going to be around 50 degrees. So this is why there's not going to be much snow on the ground in many locations, because these temperatures are above freezing in a lot of locations, and they're way above normal. So these are high temperatures for Friday. If you look at Friday night, Christmas Eve night, we're going to cool down to around the low 30s in Chicago, Northwest Indiana, low to mid 30s. But again, compared to normal, that's well above normal. We should be in the low to mid 20s. So we're looking at temperatures that are going to be about 10 degrees above normal even at night. And notice that's a lot of the country. Even out west, a lot of those temperatures are above normal. But you see that colder air starting to move into North Dakota and Montana. So that's where temperatures are going to be below normal. But for much of the country, it's going to be pretty warm Christmas Eve. And you jump ahead to Christmas Day, we're going to be a little bit cooler. Notice the temperatures dropping into mid to low 40s, it looks like. But that's still above normal for this time of year. And look at all those 80s Christmas Day in Texas. That is way above normal, boy. Talk about not being much of the Christmas season. I mean, you at least kind of want it, Christmas Day is another day where at least should be chilly outside. I mean, I guess it's good for the kids down there, if they get any summer-like toys, they can go outside and play with them. I guess, but again, typically you just think of Christmas, cold, snow, but in a lot of places that's not going to be the case. It'll be a chilly day, but warmer than usual for Christmas Day, and temperatures above freezing, so that's why there's not going to be any snow on the ground either. I kind of want to talk about the forecast a little bit for us in Northwest Indiana for Christmas Eve night and Christmas Day, because there is a chance of rain, not snow, but there is a possibility of rain. Now, there's not going to be a lot of rain, but I kind of want you to be prepared for the possibility of some off and on rain showers, really Friday through Christmas Day. I think the earliest it could start on Friday is about 11 a.m. on Friday. Some light, again, we're talking very light rain showers. I do think this is certainly the one thing you have to remember when I show a model forecast like this. It kind of makes it look like this is going to be rain all day, but it's just showing really the possibility of there being rain. And so the first possibility is about 11 a.m. on Friday. You jump ahead to 2 p.m. Again, this is that lightest shade of green showing up. So it basically means there's a chance for there to be light showers. But I bet what's going to happen, it might rain a little bit at noon, and it's going to stop. Now, it's going to be a pretty cloudy day, but then you might see, a sprinkle again pop up a couple hours later. A little bit of light rain might start. It does look like a late afternoon, early evening on Friday. Probably nothing's going to be going on. I bet it's going to be dry. But if you notice, as we go through time, notice at 11 o'clock, see how there's still some dots of green around? It's probably going to be largely dry Christmas Eve evening. I know folks are going to probably be doing some last-minute Christmas shopping during the day, Christmas Eve, and you might be going to church services Christmas Eve. In the evening hours. And again, there's a small chance you might encounter some showers. I would bring the umbrella just in case, but more than likely, it's probably going to be dry. I do think the rain chances start to go up again very late Friday night. Notice how there's a little bit more green showing up on the maps. There's 5 a.m. Saturday. This is 8 a.m. where I'm sure a lot of kids will be awake at that point while the parents are trying to sleep in. And again, then some kids will open their toys and then want to immediately run outside. There's a possibility there might be some light rain around. I do think it's going to be a cloudy day. And as I mentioned, the temperatures are going to be probably in the mid 40s or so. But there is that possibility. It looks like there's a little bit better chance as we get into the early afternoon of Christmas Day. But again, I know there's a lot of green showing up on these maps, but this is going to be off and on situation. When you have this lightest shade of green, it's just mentioning that there's that possibility. It does continue into the late afternoon, but I do think by the evening on Christmas Day, maybe you're going to have dinner with family in the evening. I think the rain chance over with. But actually, it looks like the rain chance will come back on Sunday, so it's going to be a temporary break. But basically highlighting here that from about lunchtime on Christmas Eve, Friday, till about dinner time on Christmas Day, there's a possibility for some light rain to be around, but it's not going to be raining continuously during that period. There are going to be breaks. And the way I can prove that to you is when we look at the rainfall totals. Okay, so the total amount of rain that we see from Friday through Saturday, notice these totals are not very impressive. I mean, around Chicago, downtown Chicago, 0.03 of an inch. Now for Hammond, 0.17, Valparaiso 0.11, and a little bit farther south, and that's probably where we have it's going to be raining for a longer period of time. It's in Newton County, Jasper County. You have a better chance of rain. If we're looking at a chance of rain for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, your chance would be a little bit higher in LaPorte County, Newton, and Jasper County. But again, we're only talking about during that whole period between Friday through Saturday, 0.17 inches coming down. So we're not talking about any heavy rain. It does look like there's going to be more continuous rain, more widespread rain farther to the south. So I do think some rain showers are going to be around Christmas Eve night, and Saturday, but it's not going to be much. They're definitely going to be breaks, and it all is not going to amount to much. We're talking about very light rain showers. And it looks like a couple of cloudy days too, but again, warmer than normal for this time of year. So that's all I have for now. Again, if you Google NOAA chance of a white Christmas, and NOAA being NOAA, I'll bring back that map real quick for you. You'll be able to find the link to this page, which is, of course, now the map doesn't want to move. There it goes. But this is a real cool map. It's really fun to play around with. Just so you can look up the chance of a white Christmas anywhere in the country and compare it to what your friends and family have of a chance for white Christmas, so you can see who has the best chance overall. So I'm going to do an updated forecast. I'm look for a new video coming on Friday, just going to be really laying out. So if there anything changes with that forecast for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, I'm going to update the forecast. We're going to send out a new forecast video for you on Friday, kind of laying out the whole Christmas weekend forecast, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So look for that, and look for more weather live streams like this in the future, especially when there might be severe weather or when there's a winter storm. We're going to try and do these to really enhance our weather coverage here for the times in Northwest Indiana. This is something that we're trying to get more weather coverage. We'll be doing more forecast videos, more articles that will appear in the paper focused on weather, and these live streams are a new thing we're venturing into. So just want to do something kind of fun and light as we get ready for the holiday. Already the holiday season, but getting ready for Christmas weekend. It's kind of hard to stay focused on at work at this point with the holiday weekend coming up and really extended holiday week as we go through New Year's. And I'll keep you posted on that forecast as well. So thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.